I started 15 seconds early. Oops. Hello, welcome to Whimsy Live. Monday's Nooners. Everyone's already in the chat hanging out. What are you guys doing? For whatever reason, I feel like that should not be connected. I have a Bluetooth speaker that's been plugged in for a day and a half now. Oops. So much fun. All right. My life together here. This sounds so dumb. Just moving this table back literally this much makes my life so much better for the life. I don't know. All right. Get some stuff together. Got my cup here. And Kelly. You got a pen if anybody needs a pen. From Joyce Ann. So, yeah. And that's all I got for now. Oh, I want to drink. I'll be back. Oh. Oh. Okay, I'm back. Found a drink. What else am I looking for? I'm back. I just realized I opened my nutter butter right in front of the microphone. Is Nikki here today? Because she might make fun of me. So, Nikki knows Oh, I need to mine pockets. I need to mine pockets. Hold on. Hold on. I don't have my thing. Well, the quarter's all the way on the other side. Okay, I need to do. Okay. You guys will hear that one next week. But yeah, Nikki was here. She made fun of me because I don't like. I got my Nutter Butter, but because I don't want chocolate on my fingers, you fold it in a way, like so, and then you eat it like a candy bar. I have 4 minutes to finish my candy bar. You guys gonna watch me eat a Nutter Butter and wrapping. Okay. Another mine pockets for next week. Hold on. Oh, next Monday is gonna be really fun, guys. Pay attention. We're gonna have a blast next week for sure. Food we eat. Special, I guess. Okay. All right. Let's got 2 mine pockets. All right. I think that's all I got for now. Wish I had my recorder. I'd record them right now, but I don't. Over there. I don't want to leave yet. Is Mom home? Sometimes when I had to go to the vet today. One of the dogs is limpy. Yeah. Look, you guys are just staring at me right now. 1 minute. Put that right over there for a minute. How we all doing? All right. See you guys in a minute. Hello. Welcome to Whimsy Live, the Monday Nooner Show. How we all doing? Yep. We stuck with the name Whimsy Nooners because it's noon. I'm on the clock. Before I forget, I'm going to see what's going on here. Hold on. Isn't that sick? Thank you. We got some people in the chat today. We got Grandma already in there. We got Mom for 2, or Mom 2-1, sorry. Mom to 1. She liked that opening graphic with the theme song. Okay. Look at that. Like the mascot. Just kidding. But if Monster wanted to, I would 100% drink nothing but Monster when producing anything Whimsy. So just, and like, real quick, an M is just an upside down W. Like the branding is amazing. I almost turned it upside down to show you the W, but then I would have like clearly made a mess. Anyway, mascot this week. We got this sick ass dinosaur tail. Sophie wore it all day yesterday. We went and saw some dinosaurs, and we got her a tail. So that's because Sophie's cool. She had a good time, and she likes the tail. So that's our mascot, hanging out with your kids, seeing dinosaurs. It was a good time. We had fun. Grandma's waving. Let's see what else is going on. I don't think anything else. All right. If you guys were here on Saturday, clearly I had no idea how to work this stupid thing because I was just clicking all over the place. We should do like right now on this pre-show, you guys should put how many times you think I'll mess up my little my presentation. So, I was going to try to move the camera closer today. I wonder what it would look like if I moved it closer. I think it was the glare that was the problem. Hold on. We're going to try it. To get that light glare. We're going to try it for a second because the pointing, I don't know. We're going to try it for today. I don't know if I like it. I think it makes sense. No. Why do I look so... I don't think I like it. We might have to move it back. You can see how squinty my eyes are when you're this close. I get that from my dad. Where's that glare? Hold on. Boom. We're gonna try it out. Oh, yeah, I don't think I like it that close. I like the nice, but because I want to point. The problem is I wanted to point to the box right there, like this. Okay, hold on. Hold on. I didn't practice any of this. Look, I'm gonna point because. Okay, so we're all over the place. Hold on, everybody. Let's calm down. All right. So first thing, see, but now my hand's in the way over here. All right. So first, put in the chats how many times you think I'm going to mess up the presentation and zoom all the way back to the very beginning of the show, like I did on Mind Pockets. Because no joke, I did it like 5 times, and it was like straight amateur hour. So that was part of the Mind Pockets I just had. We should do some pregame, like if we can get more people doing pregame, I would totally run trivia. Write that down, somebody. That's a brilliant idea. Extend it to 15 minutes and do like a 15-minute pre-show trivia. What would you guys do? Would you guys do that? I'll give out prizes every week. I'll give out fucking gnomes. But we need to set some rules. Like I need at least 3 people playing. So I need 3 people every week to jump in 10-ish minutes early during the pre-show. And then we'll do some trivia. And then like we could pick a different category every week. More pregame equal trivia. Yeah, right? Oh, that's fucking brilliant. That's going to go in the Mind Pockets too, because I got to workshop that. I don't like how close I am. Why does it seem like I'm out of focus? It's already freaking me out. And because my hand keeps getting covered up, and I don't like this. Okay, there we go. All right, so I don't know. Okay. All right. And then 2. So 1 was how many times am I gonna mess it up? And then 2, I totally think we should do some pre-show trivia. Keep it whimsy. Maybe I can just do like okay, so it's Monday. So okay, so I have 2 pre-shows. So do we only do it on Mondays? Or in theory, do it more people are interactive-ish on Saturday. Somewhere there's a pre-show. And then what we do is do we trivia? Are my glasses crooked? Oh my god, I'm like, ugh. Do we do trivia based off of everything whimsy from the last week? So it'd be like so the trivia would be like, what was one of Ben's whatchamacallits? Mind Pockets, and you guys go in the chat and you're like, boom, enter, and you're like, nailed it. First to three answers, because like it's a little bit slow on the chats. All right, we're gonna work out trivia game, pre-show trivia. That's half of the idea that I had written down earlier. So all right, I like it. Look at that. All right, that's all I got. All right, let's get into the Nooner show proper. Let's see. Boom, getting to know me. Here we're going to talk about, oh, where's my pause button? That doesn't count as a mess up, does it? I don't know. Like I tried to figure out what I was doing this week. I didn't really do that. Like I'm working on the art book. But like I was also looking into, because Sarah can't do the webcomics right now. I guess it would be like this, because this is scary. Right? So, oh yeah, I don't like it being that close because you can totally see that I'm looking down and not up. We're gonna have to move it back, guys. All right, in a second. So, in my hands, I need hands. I'm a hand guy. This is too close. It's all up in my space. I feel like I'm like push. Ooh, like I'm a mime. The show's already already falling apart. So they're back to the AI and the webcomic. So if Sarah can't do the webcomic right now, okay, let's get some interaction. We got 2 people in the chats. We got Grandma. She's probably doing something. So you have to like ESP it to me. And then we got Mom 21 in there. Kelly, and I'm sure is listening, Mom. The AI, so there's a AI program that makes web comics, right? That will auto draw it, and then I could, in theory, leave spaces and leave captions for like the dialogue and stuff. So we're gonna lose some of the bubbles. But this particular AI, if I upgraded it, I'd be able to upload like the 24 comics that Sarah did, and then when they generate like a new comic strip for me, it would follow that drawing style, like basic, like, I mean, AI is doing all kinds of weird stuff, but conceptually, it would learn her style and then make me a new comic, right? So, one, I would obviously get Sarah's okay to do that. Two, it's like, because so it would be like Little Whims story by or created by like Ben and Sarah, right? So she'd still get credit for the concept, but not for the actual physical drawing of it, right? But does that take away from anything, knowing that it was an AI generated comic versus a hand drawn comic? Because there's two frames of mind. Is that the right phrase? Is that the right words? Frame of mind? Yeah. One is we get the content out because I like the comic and I like writing for the comic. And then, like, if Sarah did come back, I have a whole other project I want her to work on next, story wise. But Whimsy then has a weekly comic that I can do, adds content, and just in like another medium for Whimsy. So like there's that part of it. And then two, am I just like feeding the machine that's going to eventually take over everything? Like, if I can't find someone to draw it for me, then I might as well like use the AI, right? I think that's where I'm kind of at. Is I want someone to draw me. I don't even care. Like, I just want someone to draw me a goddamn comic, so I can put it out there. But if nobody wants to draw it for me, and or I can't like afford it because they're not, like, it's weird because it's like, hey, you want to draw something for me for free? And it's like, I would pay them, but like sometimes they're like, I reached out to a couple of different people and they're like, yeah, here's some rate sheets. And then they're like, this can be like $30. I'm like, I'm not paying you $30 a month to draw me some like whatever comic. So could I just put the $20 a month into an AI comic generator following Sarah's style and her art, so that way we keep it semi-consistent looking wise? Like, is like, I don't know. Is that a thing? Can I do that? Does it take away from anything that I'm using an AI generated comic? And then what does year two? Like, if I did I guess I have to also look into it. Like, can I publish them? Because the art book has all Sarah's comics in there. And so year two, we'd still put all the comics in there, but then they would just be story by Ben. I forget how the credits work. Like, it's not created by Sarah. It would be she want to get a producer credit. Maybe I'll give her. I guess I could give her like okay, so it would be like created by Sarah, drawn by AI website. I guess how it would work. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'm curious. No, I think that's done through OBS. Because I would like to get some more. I like the comics. I like looking at comics because Grandma says, okay, $30 a month doesn't seem unreasonable if they're doing a comic weekly for you. No, weekly. So because I would need 4 comics. Oh, I would totally pay $30 a month if they were gonna like. I'd pay $10 a week, right, for a web comic. But the problem is, like, some of them, were, some people were like, "Oh, like it's weird because one picture, like if I did like a nice print, like a 8x10, they're like, oh, those are like $30 or $40." But I'm like, okay, well, I want I need 3 pictures basically telling a story. But then they're like, okay, maybe they're like, all right, $30 a week. And I'm like, I'm not paying the $120 a month. No, I agree, Kelly. Because there's, and then obviously I would brand them on whatever other projects that they have. Put them on the website. They get a nice little tag. I'd even put a segment on the Nooners where we read the comic together. Oh, that'd be kind of fun. I don't know. I was gonna try it out, but the free sample doesn't let me use Sarah's drawings, so I'd have to sign up, and it's like $20 a month. So I don't know if I was like, I don't know. I don't know. Because I like using AI for certain things, but it seems like there should, like the web comic should be more. I like the personal touch of the web comic. Like there's yeah, I know what word that I'm looking for. Like if it wasn't Whimsy and I was like, for example, like if I'm at work and I need like just a weird, you know, um, comic for some joke or some scenario that's happening, right? I would totally AI generate one of those things because like it's just for a handful of people at work, put in the chats, build morale, right? A little bit engaging. I have no problem with an AI comic for that. But for like representing the brand here of Whimsy, I don't know if I want to like lean too hard into the AI art content generations. I don't know. I guess I should just try it, right? Like what's $20? Like if I can get a month out of it. All right. So I pay the $20 and just try to get like my four comics out for a week. Because I got some pick stuff I want to do next month. So I guess I could just like take her art, put it into the system, and then I have to look into it. Like, well, I'm just like, but we take her art, put it in there, so that way all the the pick stuff looks similar to her style and is consistent. I guess for $20 I could do that. Unless a bunch of you are like, no, stay away from the AI, Skynet. So I don't know. But yeah, I spent some time looking at that. What else we've been doing, Ben? What else you been thinking? What else been doing? All right, guys. So here's a screenshot of Roaring Kitty. He was the guy behind the meme stocks I've been talking about for the last couple of weeks. Thursday, he posts that he's going to do a live stream on Friday morning. So this is a screenshot of GameStop. And at the beginning of like Thursday, it was at like $56. Like it jumped a bunch. It rose like another 50%. Like it went from like 35-ish to up to like 58, something like that. It jumped a bunch. And then so the market opens Friday morning, 6:30, 9:30 Eastern time. And then it just starts plummeting. Like it just starts crashing like right after the open. Like the aftermarket from Thursday into Friday was high, and then as soon as the market opened, it just fucking plummets all the way down here to like $30 or some roughly like 30, yeah, about $30 to $35. So overnight, it drops like a bunch. Like it lost all of its whatever gains it had over the previous 2 days is gone. So he does this live stream on YouTube, and so it was scheduled for like noon Eastern, which is like 9 here or 10ish here. So he jumps onto this live stream. Now here's what's funny is I've never watched this guy. I've read about him. He's fascinating. I watched the stupid movie about the guy, but I never went back to rewatch any of his YouTubes. So he jumps on this YouTube half an hour late. The chat's blowing up. He has 650,000 people tuned into this live stream. Now his live stream is very whimsy. He's just doing his thing. He talks and he talks for about 50 minutes. The problem he ran into in 2021 was he was being accused of like stock manipulation because he was telling people what to do, but verbiage wise, he didn't. He just presented why he invested so much into GameStop. So he does the same thing for like 40 minutes, having a good time. He's drinking a beer. He's kind of like, he's hyper, he's hyped like all over the place. And then he talks about the Cohen, I think is the new CEO of GameStop. So he's like, GameStop isn't doing very well, but he's like, I believe in Cohen. He's like, I think he has what it takes to generate the stocks back up. So he talks about that for a second, but still never says, it's like everybody in the chat's trying to figure out what to do because they're all following Roaring Kitty. You tell us what to do, we'll do it. So then he gets like really, really like the last 10 minutes of it. It's like 40 minutes in, he shows his stock trading page. And you can see that he has like $200 million invested into GameStop. Just so he can show people like, hey, I believe in what I'm saying. I got $200 million in this thing. And as he's talking, right, the stock just keeps dropping like crazy. Like we're seeing like the stock today is numbers that they were back in like the beginning of May before he even came in. So he got really weird talking about like he's real like skittish about what he was going to do next because and he's like, do I need to get a lawyer? Because there was more he wanted to say, / he couldn't because he didn't want to be responsible for anything. He's got a huge, like fucking 3-page disclosure at the beginning of the live stream. And he just like, he said lots of nothing for 50 minutes. He sits there and watches his stock just plummet. And then says, he's gonna have a good day. He's like, bye. So here's the interesting part about all of this. Big hedge, Wall Street, they're still talking like super crazy crap about this guy. Every article says Roaring Kitty's YouTube live stream doesn't save GameStop. And the meme stocks are over. Like they're still saying it, even though they said it a month ago and it's clearly been doing stuff, right? They've written out the little man. Like they've written out Roaring Kitty and every other retail investor. And they're saying the meme stocks are done. It's over. His live stream deal failed. GameStop didn't do anything. What's killing me about this thing, and they're going to have to make another movie about this because this is how dumb this is, right? He didn't say anything. Wink, because he's playing. There's something else happening. So the stock probably drops because like Big Hedge probably sold everything. And then we're waiting for Big Hedge to get out so that way all the little investors can just jump back in and skyrocket it before Big Hedge gets a chance to get back in. The whole thing is stupid. Wall Street is like, Roaring Kitty's done. He's over. He showed his sheets. He's out $2 million. He's out $200 million. He's not done. There's more to this story. Go back a month-ish, 3 weeks ago, when I talked about the 2021 meme stock frenzy. The thing went for 6 months. Roaring Kitty's not done. Big Wall Street is retarded. They don't know what they're doing. So, sorry guys. There's still more to come. It's an interesting story. I don't think it's on most of your guys' radars. But it's an interesting story of the little man trying to take what is it, the David and Goliath? It's the little man trying to get one over on the on Big Hedge. And just the narrative, like if you're Big Hedge or the news outlets, like the narrative that you're able to spin that like, oh, it's over. Because all they're trying to do is they're trying to discourage him rallying a bunch of people together to come back and watch it skyrocket again. Keep an eye on it, guys. We got some stuff coming up. So we'll see. Shout outs and thank yous. I don't really think about much, so that's why we're already moving into the next one. I know I was doing stuff, but I don't know. I think I was more just cruising. Andy, back in the comments, she loved the Courtney episode. She gave me there's a Disney movie about chess. So there are movies about a couple. I mean, to be fair, there's only 2 that people remember, right? But yes, technically there was a Disney movie. I forget the name of it. Like high school girl from South Africa plays chess, dominates, and then she goes and just dominates the competitions. There was also one with Tobey Maguire that I think was about the 72 game of the century with Bobby Fischer. So there are movies, but again, I dared everybody to come up with more than 2 and we couldn't, and it took us a week to Google it and figure it out. Tony, are you here? So we had this really fun moment on Saturday. Tony, because he likes to leave stuff in the chats. We're hanging out. Tony's the first person that I don't know who they are, right? Like most of you guys are who leave comments. I know you, worked with you, I've had a conversation with you. Tony, man, this guy organically found us in his YouTube feed, and he's been following us since at least episode 37. He loves it. Tony, I think you're the coolest ever. We did learn about him a little bit. He's out in Nebraska. Likes the show. And he watches the lives, like so much that he jumped in on Saturday. So that's super fun. And then Joyce Ann. She keeps throwing the whimsies in on all the live streams when she gets back from work. So Andy, Joyce Ann, and Tony. Seriously, send me that email, man. I want to send you a pics. So just want to get some shout outs. What else is next? Taylor Tomlinson, you're amazing. She's killing it on her show. She's getting a lot of, she's doing some podcasts. I mentioned on, what day was that? Saturday? She does podcasts, so she would be able to slide right in, have a seat, all natural, perfect. But this week's question to Taylor is, what would be the first thing you would do if you're invisible for a day? Just one day, so you can't get all crazy. In the chats, what would you guys do? Hold on. From Saturday, I mentioned I would just troll my mom for a day. Just all like real juvenile, like 12, 13-year-old Ben. Just slowly just messing with her for a day. What would you guys do? Would you use your powers for good or for evil? Free food, rob a bank, sneak into a movie. Oh, that wouldn't be a horrible idea. What else could you do? Hold on. You would think I'd put stickers on the table so I know where to put this stupid camera every time. Because I think most people who podcast or live stream, they try to keep the same setup. I'm curious if we put all of like a screenshot from every week, like how close is my camera to where it is every week? Because I move it all week. So Taylor Tomlinson, guys on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, tag her, leave an answer, tag her, let her know what you would do, the first thing you would do if you were invisible for a day. And then, yeah, Taylor, just reply back. Whimsy at chasingthewhimsy.com, or you can just reply back to any of the socials. Just reach out or have your people reach out. We can schedule, just a very small, 3-5 to 48-minute interview, hang out, chit chat, see what you've been up to, where your goals, where you get, what's next year look like for you. So we have a large and loyal following. So, we got plenty of people to talk to. Taylor, reach out. Okay, I'm back. One day she's going to reach out. I do believe that the tags do work when I auto post them on Instagram and Facebook. I'm curious, when you're like Jon Stewart, I guess they do. Do they have someone running their Instagram page? Because like you hear it every once in a while where you're like, someone else runs it, and I'm sure that like Jon Stewart, does he actually sit there and like tweet out for days, or does he have somebody who posts relevant stuff consistent with his image, and then does he jump in every once in a while and just do whatever? I don't know. So Taylor's people, by all means, please reach out. Thank you. I should have rolled. What am I watching? The Pocket Watch. So in the description, the title of the episode, right? Super fans, Joy San, Tony, Kelly's definitely a super fan. Andy, she's back. But the second one was the Emmy campaign. For 2 weeks, I've been mentioning like the Emmy episodes on both the podcast proper and the live streams were complete like garbage this year. I want to try and be a little bit more ready for the Emmys in September 15th ish. So I've been watching some stuff. I'm going to keep you guys in the loop on what. So most of the stuff I'm watching right now is anything that is being predicted to be a nominee. We're still currently in the voting stages for like the official nominations. So I'm doing some research on predictions. Once the actual nominations come out, I'll adjust and then fill in where I can. So right now, it's like 2 things Emmy and then 1 for me. Because sometimes there's like a random movie that I know is never like most people won't watch. So I'm just trying to familiarize myself with this year's Emmy race, and I'm just campaigning all the way through, just seeing what everybody like. What's so good about these shows, so that way I can attempt to speak intelligently about it, so that Liam and I are not just reading off names for 45 minutes. All right. The first thing that I watched was nope. Okay, so when I said 2 for Emmy, 1 for me, this is for me. When like I'm in between shows, I watched some Shark Tank. I'm still watching. I watched it last week. I think I'm done because everything keeps replaying. I've seen all the good clips on YouTube. That's my guilty pleasure right now. Number 1 thing that I watched this week, caught up on season 3 of Hacks, HBO. Averages like 35 to 40 minutes each. The show is amazing. I mentioned it in so much that I got in Mind Pockets on Saturday. Definitely comedy. Who's that? Jane Smart. I forget her name, and I'm sorry. She's an older comedian, and then the young one behind her is a young writer trying to help teach her what's 2024 appropriate, basically. Real cute. The dynamic between these two. This year, great season. Really gets into taking accountability for your past. So season 2 was like accepting where she's at, and then like using her real life as material. And then season 3, it's like, now that I'm using all of my life as my material, you realize like a comedian back in like the 70s and 80s weren't all real PC, and then kind of like the hurdles through that. Nine episodes, 30 minutes long. Watch it. So good. Gene Smart wins. I'm already pointing at the fences, guys. Hold on, where's the fences? Wrong one. Point at the fences. Oh shit. Damn it. I was pointing at the fences. She's gonna take actress in a comedy series. Such a good show. Mom's gonna try to pick it up. It's like 29 episodes, 30 minutes each. You guys can binge it somewhere. You don't have to binge it. You can totally find those. You can find 3 seasons worth of it between now and September. My mom, guess what she did yesterday? She binge watched like 10 hours worth of TV, catching up on the series that just ended. Yeah, I saw her this morning. She's like, she's like, she's like, for 10 hours. I'm like, yeah. She got that binge mentality happening. So I helped her find Hacks, and Hopefully she gets through it. I bet she can go through, one season a week. That's all you need. 9 episodes. You just watch 2 a day, and then rest on Sunday. Hacks 3, very good. HBO season's over, so watch it. Very good, very, very good. What else am I watching? Ripley, Netflix. Andrew Scott, I think is his name, plays Ripley. Okay, it's based off of a book with the same name, I think, and is also roughly based off of The Talented Mr. Ripley with Jude Law and Matt Damon from 96. Same story. This was 6 or 8 episodes. No, 8 episodes. Hour each. Like what's interesting about this particular show, all done in black and white. This Point at the Fences. This won some stuff on the directing, cinematography, visual side. There is something very interesting watching this series in black and white, and just the way that it was shot. I mean, the story is whatever. I mean, you can get the story from watching Talented Mr. Ripley. Like it's an interesting story, but it's nothing like groundbreaking or revolutionary. But the way that it's shot was super, super fun. The different angles, some of the shots are taken. The black and white definitely adds a different texture and like a kind of a fun little tone to everything. And then what's interesting too is that there are a couple of moments almost in every episode. I think I would have to double check, but there's moments every once in a while in each episode where there's something happening and there is zero dialogue. Like there's so much stuff happening that's like no one's saying anything, and there's just shit happening. He's on a boat, and in the camera angle you take on the boat, like I don't know. So you're in basically a motorboat, right? Small, like a very small one. Most of the time, you would get like the side view, so you can see both of them talking, right? Or you get like most of the time, if you're having a conversation, or you get one further back up, looking at both of them, right? So normally you got both people in the frame, but every once in a while, like on this boat, like they took it, like, and they lingered on some of these shots. It's at the front of the boat, and then like down a little bit, like right on the, and it just looks, and there's almost like, and there's stuff happening back here, but you can't even see it. You know what he's doing. Like there's some stuff happening, but like it's just really weird. And they hold on that shot for like 30 seconds, a minute. Visually, the show is fantastic. It wins awards definitely in the cinematography, directing, and visuals, because it was beautifully shot. His acting, Andrew Scott. Andrew. It's done by Ripley. Yeah, Andrew Scott. Dakota Fanning's in it. A couple of other people. Good show. Very. it's in Italy and some French. I think mostly Italian. So the subtitles, they do like a really fun job. Like the first episode's all in Italian. Oh my gosh! I wonder if they did this on purpose, or maybe I just didn't pay attention enough. The subtitles are in Italian on the first episode, and then by like episode 2, he's like learning more Italian, and then from then on, when they speak Italian, then it converts it into English. Like, how interesting is that? I don't know. I don't know. There's no way for me to check that right now. Because you, as the viewer, there's people talking. I don't know what they're saying because I don't know Italian. But then by episode 2, as like the character learns Italian, and then the subtitles start like converting it for you, it's kind of like, oh, that's interesting. I have to double check that. If they didn't do it, I'm taking that idea. Because you're like, why would I watch a movie where the first half of the first episode I can't read or understand? Because Tom Ripley doesn't understand. He's in a foreign place, like a new TV show. He's hanging out, trying to talk and get to know these people, like he's trying to do. And then, like, there's entire conversations he doesn't understand because you don't understand either. And it's like, I don't know. I think I picked that up just now. That's kind of an interesting way to get your viewer, like, there's something artsy about that, and I like it. I'm gonna write a movie where the whole first half is nothing, like you can't even understand it, and then boom, sneak it in on you. All right, what else am I watching? True Detective. Season 1 was supposed to be like fantastic. Never watched it. I didn't watch 2 or 3 either. But Jodie Foster looking to get some love from the Emmys, as well as the show for a limited series drama. I got 1 episode in. It's only 6 episodes. It's super interesting. Jodie Foster playing a cop detective, really pulling from her Silence of the Lambs days. Like, not so like meek and timid and like scared of everything. Like in True Detective, Jodie Foster, she's like, it's like Alaska, maybe far north, ice. But Jodie Foster, man, she's like she's been working there for 100 years. So like, does Clarice Starling? I can't even say Clarice by itself. You have to say it all like Lecter style. Clarice. Oh, I just realized I was talking really fast. If Clarice Starling caught Lecter and then lived for 40 more years, right? What would she end up looking like? What would she be like? That's what the show is. She's just like, I don't care. She's just like real hard and tough. She swears a bunch. It's interesting. I don't know. 1 episode in, I think it's worth a watch. Is there anything else? Are you guys watching anything? Doesn't actually have to be Emmy related. Because I'm down for suggestions. Remember, 2 for the Emmys, 1 for me. Throw something out. I'll watch it. There's early predictions. There's a lot of UK royal family content. Red, White, Royal Blue, and The Crown on Netflix. They're getting some love. So we're going to talk about it another day. I don't know. That's my grandma, my mom. My mom, probably more than grandma. What is the fascination with the royal family? Because like, I don't know, because there's almost no other royal family anywhere else that people care about more than the English and then the US president, but that's just because it's a fucking shit show right now, right? The only time we care about the Philippines, the prime minister of the Philippines, is when she was embezzling or something, and then like she got in trouble for something, and then below like headlines, she's in trouble, and then like right below it, it was like she's got like 200 shoes. Cuba and Castro, I guess people cared about Castro. Maybe, I don't know. Hold on, I got to my foot. I'm not pooping on the royal family. Let's just get that straight. I'm down for some current events, what's going on, but some of these people go like fucking hard crazy about the royal family, and I don't know. And is it a generational thing? Because like, are there 14-year-olds that are like, oh, I fucking love the royal family? I think it seemed from Loving Diana. Okay. Because Diana comes in, she plays a huge influence in like global humanitarian efforts. She's got a little drama with Charles. He has 2 kids. They had a huge wedding. So do we know anything pre-Diana about the royal family today? Like we're like, oh no, she's sick and stuff's happening. Meghan Markle got kicked out. You know, they treated her like crap, and they're like, we don't want to be the royal family anymore. So like we follow all of that today. So pre-Diana, do we know what the day-to-day life of the royals were? Thank you, Grandma. That was it's a good observation. What year was Diana? 70 Princess Di. Stand by. Princess. And the last spell, Princess Diana. She's born 61. Oh, she was relatively young. 61 to 97. Wow. I would have sworn she would have been like, that's only what, 36 years old? That's crazy. Gosh, she did so much. Wedding. What year was the wedding? 81. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, but yeah, there's some UK royal family love in the Emmys. Yeah, in the chats, let me know what you're watching. I'm gonna try not to. To be fair, pocket watch, like it's a staple of the segment. Let you know what I'm watching, because Mom picked up a no show because of something I mentioned. So she likes Hacks. Boom, check. Ben knows what he's talking about. If you don't have HBO, if you got Hulu, pick up Bear. 100% watch Bear. Bear season 2 was fantastic. Jamie Lee Curtis, all you Jamie Lee Curtis fans, Halloween, anything, everywhere, all at once. She has a fantastic episode in Bear 2. She's definitely going to win some shit for that episode. John Mulaney fans, he was also on that episode. So Bear season 2, probably going to be the sweeper. But it's going to be interesting. What else is going on? Ha! That's kind of the mess up. Just a reminder, hit the thumbs up. Joyce Ann likes to hit the whimsies, whenever she catches up on them. So I appreciate them. So here's a fun fact. Because of the thumbs ups, right? Okay, so we got the thumbs ups, we got the chat, which helps the comments on the afters, right? The more thumbs ups and comments that we get got us to fucking Tony. So all of those things help impact the algorithm, gives a certain impression number, and that impression indicates like how many accounts, like percentage wise, I'll show up in people's feed. So because of all you guys hitting these thumbs ups, dude, we totally snagged a Tony. And let's do more. Let's find a Joanne from Michigan, and then we can find like a Troy from West Virginia. They're out there. But hit the thumbs up so that way we can pop up in their feed so they can find us. I gotta get my phone out for this one. Let's take some notes. Here's a really fucking interesting observation I made about myself. I couldn't do a book report to save my life for the 13 years I was in school, 14 years, kindergarten, K through 12, 13, 14 years because I redid one. I couldn't do a book report to save my life. Absolutely not. But for whatever reason, I do a fucking live stream. Dude, like, now, be fair, I'm not typing up like huge essays or stuff, but I put some time into it. Like, I hope you guys enjoy it. But I put a little bit of time into pictures and researching some stuff. And the rabbit hole is something that what's interesting about the rabbit hole, right? The what's in my pocket is like, I'll watch it and I'll have a general idea of what's going on. Like, I like it. But for me to be able to get you guys interested into whatever rabbit hole I fell down, I got to do a little bit of research. So I spent the last 2 days, I wrote notes. That's why I got my phone out. Hold on. I wrote some notes. So I'm not just shooting from the hip as much. But this week's what's in my pocket comes from Grandma. Base kind of came from Grandma. I believe she was like on Saturday. She was like, I don't know who Bobby Fischer is. And it blew my mind. Blew my mind that she didn't know who Bobby Fischer was. So today, we're going to do we'll let you guys jump down this rabbit hole of Bobby Fischer. Born 1943. What's interesting is he is still today, considered the arguably the best chess player to have ever lived. But before we get into Bobby Fischer, some people are like, why do I care about chess? Because you do, because I told you to. So before we get into Bobby Fischer, in 1948, this guy here, Vinkin, he won the world's chess championship in 1948. This is post-war, World War II. This guy basically ushers in a new era of chess. Chess has been out since like the 1600s. Grandma, I was born, no, not 1043, 1943. Um, I have to get the dates. When Grandma's coming over today, so I don't find out when she was born. Maybe they have the same birthday. How cool would that be? Anyway, so 1948, Russia wins the world championship post World War II. So I mean, Russia, dude, it's fucking Soviet Union, right? This particular win is the start of the Soviet Union's entire dominance over the game. For 50 years, the Soviets would play chess better than anybody in the world. The Soviets considered themselves intellectually superior, and that's why they were the best. The Soviet Union would also treat chess players like celebrities, athletes. They would get these huge deals to play chess for their country. It was the Soviet Union versus the world. If you wanted to play chess, you wanted who the best chess players were, they came out of the Soviet Union. Right around this time, too, coming out of 48, getting into your 60s, is you get the Cold War. So, like during this time, it was like the Soviets were just like, we're the shit, we're the best, and the heck with everybody else. And then you got the Cold War. So, coming out of the Cold War, we introduce Bobby Fischer. He's been playing chess for a little while. He made a name for himself. Again, the Soviets are like, we're the best. Nobody can beat us. Soviets, now Russians, like nobody can beat us. We're the best. Bobby Fischer plays Boris Spassky in the 72 World Championship for chess. So again, you're like, why do I give a shit? This is the first time U.S. has been at a world championship. Russia's been dominating it forever. Spassky here is world champion. Like they're just completely dominating the game, and it gets to the point where Fischer's like, I can do this. Like I can beat the Soviets. Turn that off. Someone's calling me. Bobby Fischer ends up playing in this tournament, wins. Wins, shows that U.S. are better than the Soviets. The Soviets are pissed off. The Cold War is ending. Like, it's all USA, man. Like, USA. And then because of so Bobby Fischer gets all this attention, right? Because of the Soviets, the Cold War. He's winning. So now, like, the U.S. is like, we're the shit. This particular game here is the reason why chess hits the mainstream. Like, chess is now a global game. Like, people are paying attention to what's happening. Not necessarily in chess, but people are learning to play chess. There's a huge boom in the 70s, people learning to play chess. The Soviets, the Cold War, I believe they convert over to Russia now because the Soviet Union falls. Now we start to see like more people playing chess globally. The Soviets are no longer like the country. They're still really good. Now, like, we're not going to take anything away from them, right? The fucking Russians are fucking dominating. But because of Fischer and this game, this match of the century, we're starting to see more people play. Currently, right now, to date, India has like the most grandmasters in the game. India's dominating. But yeah, Fischer is basically like, hey, I don't like the Soviets. I don't like the Cold War. I'm very political. I got an opinion, and I'm also the best chess player in the world. I'm going to take down your best people. Fucking owns them. Uh, and then there's Bobby Fischer has a fascinating story. Um, in 75, he refuses to defend his championship, walks away, and doesn't play chess for like 20 more years. Um, so relatively in the span of his life, so what, 43 to 70, so within the 30 years that he was playing chess, like the 20 years he's actively playing chess, like, so what, he beats the Soviets, it's the political angle of it. So like, why is he so cool if he just because he beat the Russians? No. Let me give you some stats on this guy. Untrained Soviets, they treat it like a fucking job, right? So if you want to be a Soviet chess player, you got sponsors, you got teachers, you go to school for it, like just like any other thing, like hard train. Fischer just like picks up the game and and somehow just a natural at this thing. He became the youngest national junior champ at the age of 13, the youngest U.S. champion at the age of 14, and the youngest candidate winners for worlds at the age of 15. Within 3 years, the guy just dominates. And like this, like Liam, school next year, right? Freshman, goes in and dominates every single person he ever meets at the highest like weight classes. And what's interesting too is like it's not even weight class, right? So like the example falls apart a little bit here, but like if for whatever reason Liam comes back, goes to high school, and they're like, by the way, we're just going to eliminate the weight classes. Liam would have to then beat like the high school, like the 220s and the 230 classes, like and just dominate all of them. And that's what Fischer is doing. Is he's 13, just dominating the entire field of kids and like not kids. The U.S. State Championship, there's no age cap on it. The candidates tournament to go to Worlds, that's everybody. That'd be like Liam being like, I'm gonna go to a college meet and just start dominating over there. I mean, he's close. Liam's close to that, but like obviously, like he's dominating his game, but to like we've seen good chess players, but to be that young and to dominate everybody from little kids to adults to grandmasters to go to the candidates tournament and then win it in 72 and then to be a champion for 3 years. The US championships, 8 years in a row, dominated. He is a US champion for 8 years. The scoring system, you get half points for draws and you get like 1 point for wins. In these 8 years that he's dominating the US, he's winning by like 1.5 point margin, which means like he's just fucking killing everybody. Like nobody can keep up with him. He's not losing. So much so that he went 20 consecutive wins in world championship events, like 20 in a row. I would have to double check that. I don't think that I think that means there were no draws either. Like he just straight played. Like you got to play this guy for 3 matches, and he just straight fucking just 7 people just knocked him straight out. Like he was winning like a crazy person. Chess players have a rating system based off of who you play. So if you're like a 2100 and you play somebody who's a higher number than you win, you earn points. If they're lower than you lose points. But it's this weird point system that moves up and down. Fischer played at such a level that he played a game that was rated at 3080. The current Magnus Carlsen right now, the current number one player for the last 12 years, he's ranked we'll go into Magnus one day. Magnus right now is only at a 2840, I think, right now. So Fischer played a game that, if rated, was 200 points above that. Still holding today. Like, he played like a near. And what's interesting, like, when you start getting into like chess, what do they say after the first 5 moves? There's an infinite number of moves to make. To play a game with so many variables and options and strategies and techniques and everything else, to rate 3080, to play the first 5 moves, and to then from there to play a flawless game of chess is fucking unheard of. Because like, chess is a weird game because it's not, because you have to be able to react to another person's move, right? So if there's limitless, like if I can make limitless moves, my opponent will also make a limitless move. So it's not like something that you can memorize and be like, well, if he does this, I can do this, because there's so many other things happening. So he's dominating. He's also a bestseller author. He wrote the book Bobby Fischer Teaches Chess. Sold like millions of copies. Kind of back in that boom back in the 70s, right? Where he wins, go USA, and then he writes a book, and then now everybody's like, well, I want to be a US champion. I want to take down the Soviets. So he writes a book and then sells 1 million copies of those. He was untrained, which means like he didn't have it. He didn't learn from like a teacher. He had no coaches. The equivalent of walking through a park, watching people play chess, looking at it and be like, oh, I understand the game. You're gonna have to rabbit hole down more yourself. He was such a dominant force in chess that most of the way that he played was so far out there. He revolutionized and contributed to the game, chess theory. Like there's theory about certain openings and certain moves, certain actions with, right. There's a theory of how the game can be played. Like why this move, like why does C to F1, pawn to E1 better than pawn to E2, right? So like there's certain things that he brought to light, and watching him play was like, people didn't know you can play like that. And Fischer was like, no, I'm going to show you guys how to play this game in a completely different way. And then he also invented incremental chess. So like when you're playing in like some of your speed chess games, Blitz and Rapid, it's 3-minute game, and you have to play. That's how fast you have to play, like 50 moves in 3 minutes, right? But he invented the incremental. So what happens is it's 3+1 now. So it's a 3-minute game, but for every move you get 1 second back. So he created that clock in that system, which is the now standard of when you play these rapid types speed games of chess. I don't know if I even did a great job selling Bobby Fischer with, he's fascinating. Probably one of the most important chess players politically on the Soviet Cold War stuff. He had so much more attention on him that he was able to bring chess into normal conversation. Like he showed up on Carson talking about chess. Hold on. Fuck, I forgot what I was thinking. Oh yeah. So sure, maybe you can make the argument like, oh, it's at 72, bunch of like political tensions. That's why he's famous. No, today you ask 8 out of 10 people if they know anything about chess, 7 of them will say yes. And if you ask any of those 7 people to name the best chess player in the world, more than half of them, 6 out of those 7, are going to say Bobby Fischer. If not that, they're going to say Magnus Carlsen. There have been a lot of chess players between 72 and today. There's a lot of good chess players, but when having a conversation of like the best and the ones that impacted the game the most, Fischer's always in the conversation. That's why he is the best of all time. He played a different style of chess. One day maybe we'll jump into the rabbit hole of Fischer versus Carlsen. Carlsen is the best, most consistent player, and probably the best end game chess player in the world or of all time. I don't know. It's interesting, man. Bobby Fischer was a gift to the chess game. Like, thank God we had him. Fall down the. Oh, you want to find a? Okay, here's a rabbit hole for you guys to jump down. Remember, he refused to defend his championship in 75. He disappears until 99. So fall down that rabbit hole. Like, his whole life is fucking amazing. Like, they should just have the Bobby Fischer story from like the biopic. Like, we got Elton John and Freddie Mercury. Give me the 2.5 hours of Bobby Fischer. Kid dominating the field. 72 dominates the Soviets. Then disappears for 20 years. What's he doing for 20 years? Nobody knows. And then 92, some millionaires like, well, I want to see Fischer and Spassky fucking do, fight it out again for $5 million. And then they're like, yeah, but you have to do it in like Yugoslavia or something, right? And Fischer was like, I'll fucking play. I want these conditions. And that's where incremental chess came in, right? And then all of a sudden, like, the US is like, nope, you're not allowed to go play that tournament for $5 million because we're having, beef with these guys. You can't go over there. So the US is like, no, you're not allowed to play the tournament. And Fischer's like, I'm going to go anyway. Fischer goes, wins, dominates the tournament. Spoiler alert. And then he gets all of that money. And now they're like, the US is like, well, when he comes back, we're going to arrest him because he wasn't allowed to go play in that stupid game, that tournament. So then he just disappears. He runs off to Iceland. And then he spends like the rest of his career, like his life up in Iceland. He's like a very controversial person with more modern politics. Fascinating life. For the first 30 years that we knew him, he was the best thing in chess that's still being remembered today. Like, every chess player is always compared to Fischer. Carlsen's making a name for himself. Carlsen's 34. He's the oldest. Not the oldest. He's older. So you have all these younger people coming up from behind him, and he's still dominating. So Carlsen is working his way to become the next Bobby Fischer as far as like popularity, considered the GOAT. But regardless, Fischer's timeless right now. You ask anybody to name a famous chess player, it's Bobby Fischer. Fascinating life. Jump down the rabbit hole because he has a very interesting life and career. I think he had a sister that played chess. That was is just as good as him, but then just decided not to play. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, that's the rabbit hole I fell down for you guys. Give you some stuff about Fischer. So, Grandma, when you're like, I don't know who Ollie Fisher is, he revolutionized the game of chess. It's kind of like snooker. Ronnie O'Sullivan. Without Ronnie O'Sullivan, the U.S. would never know anything about snooker. And would it be as good today? So Fisher's doing great. He did great things for the game. He's a mess of a person. Fascinating thing. On top of the world, walks away. Comes back 20 years later to just prove that he's still the best in the world. Takes his payday and leaves and goes to live in Iceland. So that's you guys' rabbit hole this week. No discussion. Just educate you guys a little bit on who I think is a pretty fascinating person. That's all I got for you guys. How long did I run? Oh, shit. That doesn't count. God dang it. Do you guys know what just happened? I misclicked and I went all the way to the very, God, stupid. You know what, too? You know why I did it? Because I was about to, brag. I was about to brag that I didn't mess up. And I did it. How dumb. Quit touching stuff, Ben. That's all I got for you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Slightly different show. Let me know what you guys think. Leave some comments. Do you guys like the idea of not so much a discussion, but I kind of just picked some random thing for you guys to know? Let me do my weekly book report. Too bad I can't like in school, they always talked about your permanent record that doesn't really exist or nobody even cared about, right? There's no way you're like, well, hey, I do a podcast, I do a book report for the same book that I didn't read in 8th grade. And they should be able to take my podcast and apply it to that, and I should get an adjusted score on my permanent record. I don't know. That's all I got for you guys. Grandma, I'll see you in a couple of minutes. The rest of you, I'll see you guys on Saturday for Mind Pockets. Follow us on the socials. All the socials are in the description. Whimsy, Chasing the Whimsy on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and then X, Twitter is just Chasing the Whimsy, or Chasing Whimsy. Chase the Whimsy is what it is. Follow us on the socials. I got some questions that I post every day. Nikki responded to a couple of them. I'm going to start trying to be more vigilant on answering them. I think I can actually post the first reply automatically on the program that I use. But yeah, let me know what Tony. Let me know what you thought of the episode today, and then email me so I can get you that pics. That's all I got for you guys. I'll see you guys next week. Have a good night. Whimsy.